Hello, my name is Mohammed Sadeh, and I'm going to be doing a portfolio presentation for you. And I will be going over 5 projects I have listed on my ArtStation. The first one, 3 of them are games I have made for school projects. These 2 are mainly level design oriented with storytelling. The first one is called Quantum Retrieval, based on this main character here. And when you start the game, you start off in the tutorial, which makes you learn how to use the mechanics, which is double jumping. And then you can see the pickups here. On the other side, you can test shoot your gun. And these are the 3 levels in the game: the lava level, the crystal cave, and the jungle. The lava level is more oriented to be more difficult with the platforming. This is also a platforming game. And there are enemies on some platforms. There's a lava wall and you have to go hit a switch to take it off. And at the end of each level you get a container, which the main character's story is to grab these containers to save his planet from getting destroyed. And the Crystal Cave, the aesthetic of the Crystal Cave is pretty nice. The Crystal Cave dabbles more in the wall jumping aspect because once you get the cylinder, you also have to go back to the ship. And the jungle level is just a boss. And once you kill the boss, the cylinder will appear right here. It is in front of the player, as you can see the shadow up here. And to kill the boss, you actually have to go around these platforms and shoot its head. And once you do that 3 times, you kill it, and then the cylinder shows up. And then when you can put the cells on this, and once you get all of them, you win the game. And this one is called Memories. It is mainly about some main scenes put in the man's memory of early on in the marriage, thinking about having kids, just some dramatic shots. Then another scene where the wife was killed, up close. And then there's a hourglass here to depict time is passing. And now we are at the man's work, and he's getting fired because he's obsessed with finding her murderer. And then another time passing scene, just aesthetic, other buildings, another time passing. We end up at the grave where the man comes to terms with her death and that she actually just wasn't happy and she ended her life. And this project is called Ominous. It is just a storytelling scene, just mainly focused on landscape, using landscape in Unity. All these projects are also made in Unity. It's just supposed to be very ominous in the objects used and the scenery. I also was trying to add sound like wind blowing. I was having trouble with that. All the buildings and signs just supposed to lead you down, have an ominous feeling, and at the end it's just stop, just to signify the ending and there's a car. This is the time to leave. The last two are also game projects. This is a Pac-Man adaptation based on UCF. As you can see, the mascot Nitro. Nitro is the Pac-Man. He is going after the ghosts. You get the orbs. They turn into this animation. There are two levels. We had some difficulties with these. The movement control and everything works on the first level, but transferring it to the second one was a bit difficult and it didn't work very well. And we also tried to input a map where you can go from one side and go out the other. We were having some trouble with that. You would go through one side, but then Nitro wouldn't come out the other. He would just keep going across the map. So that was the first game that had some difficulties and learned from that. This one is called Wizard Jones. This one was based on assignment, so it wasn't very free roam on exactly how we wanted the game to be. You would just start off in a dungeon, made it a bit more interesting with a maze before you reach the assignment part, which is the room with a boss in it, and the room with the boss, it's a golem boss. You have to just get to the next room, but without the boss coming up to you and killing you. And to be able to get away from the boss, you can also right click barrels or objects in the room and throw it at him with the wand. And that will stop him for a few seconds. You're also on a timer, but it is quite simple to get to the boss room, collect the book, because the wizard came to the dungeon to get a treasure book, and that's it. Thank you for listening to my portfolio presentation. I hope you enjoyed.